Some roads aren't just pavement, they're poetry, etched into the earth, carved through time and stone, built not to take you somewhere, but to remind you why you even drive in the first place. And this is the Porsche GT3 RS. And this isn't just a car, it's a weapon forged by obsession. This 9,000 RPM symphony of precision engineering, dressed like it's ready for a race at Le Mans, yet prowling through the calm of the Carolinas Blue Ridge Mountains. Every crest, every corner, every echo off these rock faces feels like a conversation between man, machine, and a mountain. You don't just drive a GT3 RS up here, you conduct it. The road becomes your sheet music, and the throttle becomes your paintbrush. This machine doesn't just drive through these roads, it absolutely devours them one apex at a time. This is where the wild meets the refined, the untamed ridge lines of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and one of the most focused driver's cars ever built. Every movement, calculated chaos. Every sound, pure symphony. Because sometimes it's not about the destination, or the speed, or even the machine itself. It's about the feeling that you get deep inside when you find a stretch of tarmac that seems to exist just for you and the car. A place where everything else fades. It's just the car, the road, and the horizon. This is pure driving. These are the most beautiful roads in North America. Let's go for a rip. Today's a lovely Thursday up here in the Blue Ridge Mountains. What better to drive the most beautiful roads in North America than to do it in a track-prepped 991 GT3 RS. This is not just your normal GT3 RS that's off the lot. This is actually my buddy Tanner's. This is more of his track car than more of a toy for him, which is really cool. This is a 991.1 GT3 RS. As you can see, it's got the clear taillight option, which I love. Honestly, a lot of people prefer the .1 rear end over the .2, but I figured what better than to bring a lava orange GT3 RS to the mountains during peak week. This is a little Vince's dream right here, to be up here driving my ultimate favorite roads. If you don't know my background, I actually went to school up here for college at Appalachian State. So these roads are literally my second home. I spent the last half decade of my life driving these roads up here. First of all, just all the visceral sounds, and you get literally a sensory overload just driving this car. You had so much response with these carbon buckets. You literally feel everything, not only in your butt, but you feel the entire car. It never feels super numb. As you guys know, I don't have buckets in my E92 M3, so I don't get to feel this much of the road compared to what I'm used to. So it's super nice to be able to drive this road that I literally know by heart and just feel every single bump there is. There's a couple leaves and a couple sticks, but you feel those too. This car has some goodies to it. It's got, first of all, I want to note out the tires. The tires completely changed this car. So it's no longer on the Michelin, either Pilot Sport 4S's or the Cup 2s that these were available to be bought with. Actually, I think you can even get these on P0s, which if any of you guys have ever driven one of these on Pirelli P0s, you know how bad of a tire that is just for this car. But this car does have Nankang AR1s. Those are 100 treadwear tires, and they are insanely good tires. This car is just glued to the ground. And these Nankang AR1s are so good. Once you get the temps up to where grip is no longer and will never be an issue as long as you have these tires warmed up, oh my goodness, these are amazing tires. The feedback is great. It never feels super numb like what you would get in a Pirelli P0. There's a 991. No, that's a 992 that just passed by. A lot of people that track these cars run these Nankang AR1s. Right now, the fan favorite is between these AR1s and the Vittor Tempesta P1s. Those are two very good options that you can go with. That's not a Cup 2R, but aside from, my goodness, this car does have upgraded brakes. It's got AP Racing brakes on the front and the rear, and this thing has a very progressive feeling pedal, and I love it. It's not touchy at all. You have to actually give it a little bit of beans to get this thing to stop, which I love. You're able to really dial in your braking inputs a lot more than something really, really touchy. But as you guys just heard, 9,000 RPMs of pure symphony comes straight out of this Dundon full race header system. It's actually not that loud, to be honest with you, inside the car, but I'm sure outside this thing just screams. With the right driver. It's anyone that says the GT3 RS is an overhyped car, you've never driven one at anywhere near limit, and it clearly shows. This car deserves every single bit of hype that this thing gets. clearly I don't own this car, but you can see how comfortable I've gotten with this car super quickly. And that's, you know, all thanks to everything that Tanner's done, which is little bits and pieces. God, this thing is just such a good combo. The Nankang AR1s, the AP Racing brakes, the Dundon headers. What more could a kid want on a Thursday in the middle of the Blue Ridge Mountains? I would love to hopefully own one of these and get to experience it and share this experience with my son and all my friends, because, oh my goodness, this car is just so good. Like, with the right driver, you can actually get every ounce of power and everything that this car has to offer. You're able to use it in a lot of situations. I've driven quite a few Porsches on this road, mostly GT4s. This car is quite a bit bigger than a Cayman platform, like a GT4 or a GTS. You can definitely feel it too. These hips on this car are so wide, and you kind of got to watch your lane placement on the mountains, because this car is not a small car by any chance. Good things about how good this car performs in an environment just like this. When Tanner actually bought this car, it had, I think, around 15 or 1,600 miles on it. This car, as of today, has 14,600 miles, and a good amount of those miles are actually track miles. He loves taking this thing to VIR. VIR is pretty much his main track. Him and his father track together, which his dad actually used to have a GTR. Just moved to a PDK 718 GT4, which is a damn good car as well. But Tanner's actually done 16 track days with this thing. This car just doesn't get driven from his house to Cars and Coffee on Sundays or Saturdays. This thing actually gets used the way that Porsche designed this for the consumers. With these seats and the way that you sit in this car, you can literally feel everything. What baffles me is this car is on stock suspension. A lot of people do the JRZ 3-ways on these. Tanner said, screw that, we're keeping the stock suspension. And I can see why. I mean, literally all this car needs is good tires, good brakes, and a little bit of a better soundtrack behind your ears, and you've got a winning formula. Tanner actually has crossed the sub-2 club at VIR a long time ago. His PB at VIR full course is, I believe, a 158, a low 158, which, if you're familiar to that track, if you've done it on the sim, if you've done it in real life, anything sub 2, you gotta have balls of steel, because that means you gotta fully commit up the upper S's. To be able to run a sub 2 in any car at VIR, you gotta be going at least 135, 140, 150 going up those S's. And pushing good speed into turn 10, and Tanner is not afraid to push the absolute limits of what this car has on these Nankang AR1s. These AR1s, man, if you've never tried these tires and you own anything good around the mountains, you should try these out. They're very good. Nankang also makes the CRS V2, which is a 200 treadwear tire, which is not as grippy as this, but it's also a very good tire, something comparable to Bridgestone RE71 RS or the Kumo V730. But right now, we're in a day and age where tire companies are actually like stepping up their game every season, it seems like. The Vitour P1 kind of came out of nowhere and kind of claimed the top spot as far as tires go with 100, 200 treadwear tires. And then now they're actually discontinuing the Bridgestone RE71 RS, and they're coming out with the RE71 RZ, I believe is what it's called. With that said, the RE71 RS is going to get phased out by the end of this year, and I believe the new iteration of that tire is going to be introduced sometime early Q1 or Q2 of 2026. But the AR1 has been on the market for a couple years now. The CRS was a huge hit for Nankang. If you're an OG in the car scene, you know, Nankang used to be that cheap company, kind of like Sony or Lionheart. You just throw them on just to get up and down the road. But Nankang has really stepped it up in the last couple years. They're producing some heavy hitters on the market as far as really good tires go for track and time attack, mountain roads. my final thoughts on Tanner's GT3 RS. A big comparison that I hear a lot is the GT3 RS really that much better than a GT3 or even a GT4? And to be honest with you, I think that there's a lot of roads in Western North Carolina where this car is too much car for these back roads. Call me crazy, but this car is almost too fast in some of these roads where like I could be in 4th gear at a low RPM and be fine. I guess it would be faster than a GT4, but as far as like a driving experience goes and wanting to feel every single visceral thing that these cars offer, I just really love being able to like string a car out to its red line up in the mountains. And like pretty much hear everything that, you know, is coming from behind your ears. I don't know, there's a couple roads where I think I would still prefer like a GT4 over a full-size 911 GT3 RS, but on bigger roads that have more sweepers, you can open it up more. For example, like Hellbender over by the Dragon. Oh my goodness, this thing would eat up a GT4. But you also have a big difference in power. This makes over 500 horsepower. The GT4 makes around 400, unless you get a GT4 RS. Then that would really be the best of both worlds. We were gonna hit another road, Highway 80, but I forget that part got pretty mangled up by Hurricane Helene. So right now we're on Little Switzerland 226. Tanner really put some really good mods to make this car drive even better than a stock one, because like I said, my biggest complaint with these cars is I feel like out of the box they just don't have enough front tire under them. But he fixed that problem by putting 265s and I mean he has 325s on the rear with these Nankang AR1s. But I mean this is such a good car. Like I feel like the car's barely trying at this point, and we're going pretty quick. Another complaint that a lot of people have with the GT3 RS is like a lot of people claim that this is pretty unusable on the street just because it's so much more aggressive. The suspension is so much stiffer than a normal GT3. It's almost not even like fun to daily drive this around town. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, they're right. This thing is extremely stiff. You feel every single bump. And I would hate to be in uptown Charlotte on 77 stuck in traffic in this thing because it's really not fun. But when you're on a road like this where you're able to actually extract every ounce of Porsche engineering out of this thing, the suspension changes are well worth it. I would be scared to even come close to finding the limit of this car on these tires. Like, I feel like I've been going pretty quickly today and I have not even come close to any understeer. These tires haven't said anything really. And that just goes to show how much you really can push these cars if you've got the balls to do it. If you guys had $220,000, would you buy this car? Comment down below. I hope you enjoyed this episode. This is one heck of a pilot episode to kickstart this series of something new for this channel. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time. To be honest with you guys, this is like my ultimate dream to be doing this. And thank you again to Tanner Norris for allowing me and trusting me with his beautiful GT3 RS up here in the mountains of North Carolina. But oh my, like come on, car is just, and one thing I'd like to add is I haven't even come close to finding the limit of what these tires or what this car can do in any of these roads. This isn't my car, and I try to respect people's things. So I don't even think I'm pushing this car to half of what this car probably could do. I'm braking really early because I'm not used to these AP brakes and how they feel compared to other cars that I've driven. But man, this thing is just a monster. In the right hands, this car will hurt a lot of feelings in the mountains and definitely on track, obviously. Yeah, this is such a killer car. If you have the money to buy a GT3 RS and you are not afraid to drive in the mountain roads or track your car, this is definitely up there. There's a good reason why these cars are so overhyped right now.
for those people that are actually able to extract the power and the capabilities of this car, it is well worth the hype. So much. But man, I miss this road. It's been a couple years since I've did a proper rip on 226, but this is, man, back like I never left, I guess. But today we're in a lava orange GT3 RS and peak week and part of one of the, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful roads in the whole country. So with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what car you want to see on the channel. Any suggestions, whatever. We're gonna do this more often, and we'll see you guys next week.